Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diamond High Performance Podcast. Today, we are joined by a very special guest, Miss Emilie Beggs. Hey, Em.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, I am excited to hear all about what's going on with you at the moment. It's been a massive 12 months, and so you've just made a massive announcement about what you're going to be doing next year.
I have. I'm going to the University of San Francisco, so it's really exciting. It was a big decision, but I'm so happy I made it because it's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
And for those of you that don't know, you're a legit basketball player with some massive aspirations about playing overseas and playing professionally, all those sorts of cool things. And so this has been a long pursuit for you, which has finally ended. You're in year 12, you're about to graduate or graduating, and you've been going through the whole college recruitment process while you've been doing it, and you've had a couple of schools that you've been looking at, and you've done a visit, and now you've finally made your decision that you're going to go to University of San Fran and you're going to be on their D1 basketball program with a scholarship, which is amazing.
It is. It is a big process. It's been going for maybe 2 years, a year and a half. So I went over last year and played in a tournament, and that was crazy. I got a few interests from there, from those schools, but I was the year younger, so they weren't really looking at my class. So I guess it was a bit of experience. And then this year it really ramped up. So I was on calls like every night at 11 o'clock at night to try and fit in with their time frame. So it's a lot, but it's a really cool process. And I think it's really unique, and to go through it is awesome, but it's very draining for me and my family. So yeah, we're all very excited it's over.
Oh, and again, right, it's over from getting the opportunity perspective, but now it's all about making the most of the opportunity, which is the even more exciting part.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've just started, like, I've got so far to go. So the work has started. Now I know where I'm going. I'm like, that's what I'm training for.
Well, and so let's flash it back to probably, I don't know if it was December or January, and Corbs called me into his office with you to have a chat about what you were going to do in year 12.
Mhm.
And you done ATAR in year 11. Like you said, you went on a recruiting trip. There was a bunch of stuff going on. You're making teams. You were needing to do all this extra work for not only just for basketball from a training perspective, but also all the extra work you were doing to try and prepare yourself for the college process and making sure that you were going to maximize your opportunity in that system. And so that's when we looked at alternate pathways for you. Can you tell me a little bit about the stress you were going through over that sort of Christmas break coming into the start of this year?
Yeah, gosh. I mean, I was always doing ATAR all the way through year 11. It was really tough. I struggled to put the work in the books and on the court. I thought that I wasn't doing enough on the basketball court, but I couldn't take the time out for study because like I feel like if you do ATAR, it's like you got to be all in for it. You can't just half do it. So I was trying to juggle both, and it was really tough. And then I think, what was it, 3 weeks before school started, I was like, I think I'm going to drop ATAR. I remember walking out of the gym, Corbs was sitting there, and I said, I think I'm going to drop ATAR. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I think I need to spend more time playing basketball. I want to be where I want to be. Then I really got to lock in on the basketball. And he's like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, we need to go upstairs with Dean. Like, we need to talk. That's when we talked about it, and I had no idea about the diploma. I didn't know about the certs, anything. I just made that choice one day, but didn't know what I was going to do. So we had a big chat. We talked about the cert 4, the cert 3, the diploma, but I think the diploma works best for me because you still get an ATAR doing diploma. So if I wanted to stay here, I could get into what I wanted to get into at uni with the diploma as well. So it kind of all worked out. Like, it's been amazing. I can train twice a day. I can do basically anything I need to for basketball while staying on top of my schoolwork and not being too stressed about it. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you've been an exemplary example of what the Diploma of Sport program is all about, which is trying to give those athletes that are academically disadvantaged because of the time that they're putting into their sport, but are academically capable at the same time need to take advantage of the opportunities in their sport now because we know our sports careers can be really, really short.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those juggling acts. And it's not something that's for everyone, and it's not the perfect solution or a free ticket by any stretch of the imagination. But you come from a family where academics is really, really important. Did you have the conversation with your folks about thinking about dropping out of the ATAR pathway before you had any other solution? Like, I'm just going to go and do general. Did you have that conversation first?
Yeah, and I think also like my brother did ATAR all the way through, and he juggled cricket. He did struggle juggling cricket and ATAR, but he got through it. And I think also going to a private all girls school, ATAR is very, very focused there. So it was a tough
Mm-hmm.
decision. And I think it like my parents were foreign to doing general, like it was always been ATAR. So we had a really big chat about it. We talked to our advisors at school because again, general isn't a big thing at St. Hilda's, or was it? It is becoming now, and at lots of schools, it's becoming more prominent. But yeah, I think the talks that we had with my parents was we need to be all in on basketball, or I'm going to have to half do it with basketball because I need to focus on ATAR. And I think once we talk to people, to you, talk to other people that have been through it, I think they came around to it and now they're all for it. It's the best decision we've ever made, never looked back on it. And I think I've excelled way more in my basketball because I've been able to focus on it.
So I think, and that's obviously the end game for us is always to try and support the sporting outcomes. At the same time, we also want to make sure we're not neglecting our academic outcomes. And so St Hilda's was great actually from the perspective of being supportive, but also making sure that you maintained a high standard in your general classes as well, which I thought was really cool because it's not supposed to be an easier pathway. It's supposed to allow you to do all the hard work you need to do in a way that supports where you're trying to get to. And we had some pretty strict agreements with them around like making sure that you continued straight A's in general, which you did, that you attended all the stuff and you lived up to your role as a student at St Hilda's, which I think is really important. At the end of the day, it's a school that expects a lot from its student and sets a high standard and really creates opportunities itself. So I think it was great for them to be able to recognise that this would be a great pathway for you, but then also make sure they held you to account as well from their side of things. So I think that was really cool. And it replicates the type of world that you're going to go into in college, right? At the end of the day, you have to do well at school to play. You're going to have to appease your basketball coach. You have to appease all your professors and all your other teachers that you have within university as well. So I think that's a really good stepping stone for you to make sure that you're nice and prepared. But on top of that as well, like as we know, included in the diploma of sport is strength conditioning. You were doing with us anyway, so it was like a free gift that you got was to continue your strength and conditioning. But I think you really doubled down in that space too. I think that's probably the other area that people misinterpret is we go from kind of a relatively low load in what, even though you're training a lot here, the difference between the load you're going to experience in college versus the training load that you're going to have here is going to be different. So I think that being able to really condition yourself for an extended period of time to be prepared for those loads has put you in good stead. You've really taken advantage of that,
Yeah,
don't you think?
yeah, 100%. And I think we've built it up so that my load is really high, and I'm doing stuff all throughout the day, like morning, night, trying to replicate that college life, so that when I get there, it's just not a big shock to me, and I can't handle it. So, and I think strength and conditioning is like a big part of that. I'm in the gym every day. It doesn't mean I'm lifting, but I'm recovering. I'm doing lots of stretching. I'm doing all that because I know I'm going to need it. I've got friends at college right now that are like, you really got to get really tough on the body. So I've took that because I don't want to be that freshman that comes in and is behind everybody else. So like I want to be there when I get there. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and look, obviously, we're really fortunate from a basketball sense that we have Corbs. And again, for those of you that don't know, Corbin Rowe, head of performance, who played D1 basketball in the US, was also a pretty legit academic athlete as well, and played with the Wildcats in the NBL here, and then also continued to play on and win championships in NBL 1. So I think for him, like, it's obviously basketball is a passion for him. So seeing someone like you that was willing to put in all the work and willing to, work so hard really motivated him to try and give you, every opportunity to succeed when you were, while you're away.
Yeah, agreed. And like all this experience just helps me as well. It keeps me very level headed where we don't pump each other up. But yeah, it's been amazing. He's been awesome. I don't reckon I could have done it without him.
There's no doubt that you guys have worked super hard to this point. And look, I think as well, I think it's been really cool for me to witness. Now, we've been doing diploma sport for about a decade now. And so we've been running this program in different iterations since 2015. And I just think that like your class, your 2-day-a-week class that we had this year was so fun. And there was such an interesting mix of students, but also I think there was, you were so focused on what you were trying to achieve and the intent that you were there for that you really helped motivate a lot of the rest of the class maintain a really high standard. Did you know you were doing that, or were you kind of like doing your thing and then a few people just starting to jump on board?
Yeah, I don't think I like purposely tried, but yeah, it was really cool. I love everybody in that class. So we are all so different, but we gelled really well together and learnt a lot about each other. We're all from different sporting backgrounds. Like there was no one else that played basketball, but lots of us had the same goal, I think, and maybe didn't know how to get there. But I tried to help where I could, and like they were always asking me like, "Oh, what did you meal prep?" And I showed them, and they go home and make it. So it was cool. I was like, "Oh, maybe I am influencing them in a good way." But yeah, it was really cool to see. So I really love all of them.
I think from my perspective, it's like my favourite thing to see is just giving young people this place where they can really grow and create whatever it is or I guess double down on what they really want to achieve and give them a purpose behind things. Like, so I feel like so often we've got kids that are either don't know what they want to do or they're not able to do what they want to do because there's restrictions around their life, whether it be trying to balance school and their sport or whatever it might be. And so I think when you get an environment where there's a passion for the subject we're covering, but also like-minded kids that just kind of run with it and really buy in, it's such a cool, fun space. And I just get to put some guardrails up and let you guys go crazy and see what you guys can come up with. And this class has been super fun, and I can't wait I feel like this is going to be a group that, like in 5 years' time, the Where Are They Now is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like we'll all, like, most of them will come back to the gym. We'll all lift together. Like, we have a group chat still. Like, so I think it would be awesome.
I'm glad I'm not in that group chat. That's cool. So now you're like rolling up at the end of school and all that sort of thing. Now most kids have got levers plans and are trying to kick their feet up and all that sort of stuff. What have you got planned?
So I'm fortunate enough to be training with the Perth Lynx. So I train with them 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for about 2.5 hours a day. So that takes up a lot of time, but it's really cool. Like I'm playing with people that I've been watching on the TV. So it's cool to see. It's a challenge. I like defending them because that's what I like to do, but it's a big challenge. So yeah, I'm doing that. I've got under 20s nationals that we're doing tryouts for. So that tournament will be in January. And then I've just been invited to a national performance program times waist. It's like this program for 6 months where I go into waist 3 to 4 times a week and I train at waist. So that's also really awesome. So I'm pretty busy. But yeah, I don't have a lot of other things planned other than basketball, but I've done that on purpose. I really, really want to like knuckle down. I have 8 months until I go, so I really want to put all my effort into it because I know that it will pay off when I go over.
Well, absolutely. There's no such thing as being over prepared, right? I don't think anyone's ever gone to college and gone, I shouldn't have done all that work before I got there. So I think you're definitely down the right path. I know that we've done the goal setting and we've done all that sort of stuff and that you've got some really clear parameters around some things you want to achieve, which is great. It's happened at once though. All of a sudden, you'd have gone from going and shooting and getting your shots up by yourself in the morning to now training with the links, training at Waste, going to national camps. Is that all off the back of the college announcement? Is that kind of where that's all spun from?
I mean, I don't know, but it kind of feels like that. I posted my commitment and then I got invited to all those things. So it could influence it. I think also I've been down at Bender like every day, twice a day. So I think people have seen me down there working hard, I hope. It's right above the Basketball WA office. So I don't know. They may have seen me there, but yeah, I think that everything has just all come together at once. This has been awesome because I guess before that I was kind of just doing my own thing and hoping to get noticed. But yeah, it's been really good. It's all come together.
That's awesome. No, it's great to see that you've been recognized for your hard work, and there's so many cool doors opening. And then you're off to San Francisco. The beautiful thing about San Francisco is it's essentially just a bigger version of Perth.
Hmm.
So similar weather
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff, which is nice. So that's one less thing to adjust to. Give me what you think the biggest challenges are going to be for you. So this is this is documented then, so we can listen to it later, and then we can recap it once you've had a year over there.
I think biggest challenge being away from home. I feel like right now I'm not really upset about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm really excited, but I think being away from home first year, it's the longest I've ever been away from home. I've only been away from home for like 3 weeks. So it's a big jump, but I think I'll keep myself busy. And obviously, I have so many people around me. We have 11 internationals on the team. So everyone will
Oh
be
wow.
going through the same thing. Yep, they're all from Spain and Slovenia, Portugal. So yeah, we'll all feel the same thing, but yeah, I think being away from home will be a big challenge. But also, like the difference in basketball, the difference in life. I am trying to mimic college over here, but of course, it's going to be so hard when I get over there. So just adjusting to all of that and school workload and things like that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm not nervous yet, but ask me in 6 months, maybe I will be nervous.
Oh, I don't think you will be because you've done the work, right? Normally, there's a bit of uncertainty and a bit of anxiousness, maybe because you're a little bit, it's all new to you. But the reality is that you're mostly excited because this is what you've been working towards, right? And if you've done the work and you're pretty confident that you're ready to go, then there's no real reason to be nervous, which I think is really great. So I think you're in a really good place. You had to try and make some decisions between a few different colleges, and that's a tough process to make. Well, that's a big decision and a tough decision to make at any
Mhm.
time in your life. But are you 18 yet? Like you're 17, right?
18 in 2 months.
Trying to make these decisions. I get that you're more mature than the average 17-year-old and that you've been sort of bossing everyone around for a long time. But the reality is that it's still a big decision. Was that a stressful process?
Yeah, it was. I visited another school and I loved it as well. So I think it was tough because like I'm so grateful that I loved both schools because I knew that I picked two schools that I really liked, but it was tough to decide between them. And I think at the end of the day, my goal has always been to go to college and to really be challenged and to push myself and to see if I can handle it. So I think choosing San Francisco, it was kind of the let's just put it all in and see what happens decision. I think the other school was I I say safe choice. I know that I would love it. I know that I would feel safe and everything's happy. And yeah, of course, it would still be challenging. It's college, but I think Sanford had something to it that I was like, I reckon this is going to be really challenging and it's really going to push me. But I can see myself getting so much better and getting to the next level. And my goal has always been to go pro. So I think that school will help me go pro with the coach that they have and the program that they have. So I just made that decision and I haven't looked back since.
I love it. That's so cool. And the crazy thing is, right, is that the decision happens quick.
Mhm.
It's just all the toing and froing beforehand. Like once you make a decision, it's like, boom, done,
Yeah.
I'm ready. But it's all of the second guessing yourself along the way. So I think you've done the right thing, like starting with the end in mind, knowing where you want to be. I think that's really important. I think so many young people struggle with that because they maybe don't know what they want to do. So it makes it really hard to start with the end in mind if you don't know what the end is. And I think in your case, where you've got a really clear indication of where you want to be, what you want to achieve, I guess that maybe gives you a little bit of an advantage to be able to make really great decisions now and really get stuck in. So I know that I don't want to take up too much more of your time, although this is pretty fun for me to hear about all the inside workings of this. So if you were, a couple of questions, right? So if you were going to provide some advice to your younger self, what's 3 things that you would tell your younger self when you first really decided that you loved basketball? What's 3 things you would go back and tell yourself?
I would tell myself to put myself out there. I think my younger self didn't put myself out there as much as I could. I was really shy. I was really, I guess, standoffish on the basketball court. Like I'd be like, "Oh no, you go." I was very didn't show what I could do. I was a good player, but I just didn't show it because I was too shy. I wasn't confident enough. So I think confidence is key. I'm still working on it now, but I think I'm better at it. So yeah, big thing is confidence. Just show yourself, show what you got because yeah, putting yourself out there is just going to get you much further. It's another thing. I think have fun with it. Have fun with basketball. Have fun with your sport, because when you take it really seriously as a kid, I feel like you might fall out of love quicker. I think if you have more fun with it, have fun with your friends, try all different sports. I tried so many different sports. I was doing nippers when I was younger. I did footy, I did cross country, I did so many things. And I think it really helped because basketball really stood out as something that I loved. But I don't know if I would have known that if I just did basketball from a young age. And I guess making connections with people. Most of my friends are basketball friends. And I think that it's really healthy because they're really like minded people. And obviously, having friends outside of basketball is awesome. I have so many of those too. But I think that everybody who I'm friends with from basketball is really like minded, really driven. We really push each other. So I think that's another big thing is just get your connections.
Love it.
Yeah.
Excellent advice, Beggsy. Very nice.
Thanks.
Well, look, I really appreciate you taking some time out to chat to us. It's so cool to hear your story, and we'll check back in probably a little bit later on, right before you go away, and see what's been happening and get the update. And then, of course, we'll try and check in with you while you're away too, and
Yep.
just see what it's all about. Maybe get the tour of the dorm room and the tour of the facility. You can show us around a bit. It'd be pretty cool.
Yep. I'll love to do that.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Keep working hard, and we'll see you probably tomorrow.
Probably. Thanks so much for having me.
No worries. All right. Thanks, Beggsy.